Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we got talk about some stuff that I usually don't like to talk about on my channel, and it's going to be about behavior when you travel overseas, because I'm seeing that more and more we get more and more reports that foreigners and going to other countries for vacation, to live or whatever, is being disrespectful, and out of control, and doing all kind of stuff and ending up in all kind of decisions. You can't go to another country and act a fool. Come on now, let's be real. Let's not go to other countries and act crazy, say crazy stuff, do crazy stuff. Let's not do that. I mean, let's keep it real, people. That's not do. Let's go to these countries and enjoy ourselves, have fun, come back safe, and not get bad news sent to our relatives, our families, whatever, our friends. Let's not do things like that. Let's not end up in jail overseas. And I'm not going to point out any specific person or any specific events or anything like that, because I deem that that's probably unnecessary, because most of you probably have heard about it too. But we do have a influx of people now who are traveling overseas and don't seem to know how to behave once they get there. You're not a king or a queen in somebody else's country. They're not your servants or anything like that. You have to respect them. You have to respect their culture, or you're going to end up with a problem. And just because your friend, your brother, your sister, your cousin, your daddy, your mama, whoever, just because they went to a foreign country and act a fool and got away with it, and this is the big thing you got to really understand. Just because they got away with it don't mean you're going to get away with it. It don't mean that. Just because this person survived the red light district don't mean you can survive the red light district. Stop thinking that what other people do and survive is what you can do and survive. So what I'm basically saying is, when you travel overseas and you go to another country, you need to show respect. You need to follow the rules. Stop trying to find loopholes that you can slide through and think that you're going to get away with it. Stop thinking that you can treat the people bad and you're going to get away with it. You might get away with it for a second, but that don't mean you're going to fully get away with it. And I'm going to tell you something about men. Men tend to suffer the consequences and then don't tell you guys about it. They'll suffer the consequence. They won't tell you what they suffered. They'll just tell you that they had fun. They made a monkey out of all these people. They made them look stupid and all this kind of stuff. They're going to send you some video. They're going to show you this. They're going to show you that. But they're not going to show you the part where they got their butt handed to them. They're not going to show you that part. They're going to keep that part right there a secret. You see what I'm saying? They're not going to tell you about the issues that they had to resolve and stuff like that. They're not going to tell you that, But when you go to places like Southeast Asia, the Philippines, Thailand, Malaysia, China, Japan, all these different locations over there, you're not there to run the country. You're not there to do that. You're not there to run over their people. That's not what you're there for. You should be relaxing and all this kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Having fun, enjoying your time, making memories, and coming back. If you're looking for a girlfriend or something like that, you should show that person respect. You should show that person respect. Just because you have a little more money than what they got, or even if you got a ton of money versus what they got, you still need to show respect to that person. You guys gonna have to ignore the background noise if the microphone is picking any up, because I stepped out of the building so I could make this video for you guys. You know what I'm saying? Because it's kind of sad to see when a foreigner becomes a victim and people think that that foreigner may be innocent and that foreigner is just a innocent victim to a outcome that happened over there, not realizing that a lot of times these foreigners are actually causing the problem. They are the problem. They just getting their butt handed to them, and you guys are seeing the aftermath, not what the person was doing. You know, I'm gonna answer another question that I heard somebody tell me or ask me, you know, and they was like, why foreigners are not friendly overseas? And the short answer is going to be foreigners are not friendly overseas. Hang on a second, guys. Yeah, foreigners are not friendly overseas primarily because they doing wrong things. Foreigners are not friendly overseas because they're doing wrong things. And the thing about it is, just think about your country, like over here in the United States. If I come around a criminal is going to try to hold their composure. They're going to try to give you a fake front about who they are and what they're doing, right? Because they don't want you to know that they're a criminal, right? So it's the same thing when you go overseas. When you go overseas, a criminal is not going to want to let you know they're a criminal. Think about it. They're not going to want to let you know. So the first thing they're going to do, you think you in an area where you're surrounded by strangers. You're surrounded by people of a different culture. And then you see a face that's American or maybe European or Canadian or Australian or whatever. And then you think that they're going to speak to you or something like that, and they don't. You know what I'm saying? They're not speaking to you. They're not talking to you because they're doing bad things. That's one of the big things you got to understand. And I'm not saying that every single last one of them that you come across that don't speak to you are bad. But you also got to put the shoe on the other foot. That person that you come around don't know if you're bad. You see what I'm saying? They don't know if you're doing something wrong. So that's what you got to think about it like that, in those terms. You don't know what foreigner is bad versus what foreigner is good. So it's probably a good thing that all foreigners that you run across don't talk to you. They don't strike up conversations with you. You know what I'm saying? It's probably a good thing. You know what I'm saying? So that's not something that you should worry about if you're going overseas. But also it's something that you shouldn't even be looking for. You shouldn't be looking for foreigners to break bread with you just because you're there and y'all the 1% in that whole entire country. You know what I'm saying? So the other thing that I want to talk about and touch on is expectations. You know, you see these Asian people, and a lot of times these Asian people are very small. They're shorter than you or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And you thinking, you know, I can get the best of them. I can do them in, you know what I'm saying? I can tell them what to do. I can get mad. I can throw things at a restaurant, talk loud and cuss and all this kind of stuff. That's an illusion, my friend. That's an illusion. A lot of times they're going to keep their politeness, right? While you having a fit, you having a meltdown or whatever like that. They're going to keep their composure while you're doing that. You know, and I know you guys are sitting there thinking, well, man, I don't really be hearing people talk about this stuff, but people do talk about this stuff. But mostly people that goes overseas talk about it amongst themselves. They don't really make videos and blogs about it unless you watch these news channels that covers foreigners in foreign countries and stuff like that, like Southeast Asia and stuff like that. When you watch those, then you get to see a lot of raw news. But what you're not seeing, as a person who never traveled there in person, the things that you're not seeing is the foreigners misbehave. You have to be there to see these foreigners misbehaving. You know, when you go there, you're going to actually see it. When you go there, where a lot of people say, you know, did you have a prejudice experience when you went to the Philippines or to Thailand or to Malaysia or Indonesia or whatever like that, and they tell you, no, I had a good time. The people were very respectful and stuff like that. But on the other hand, the foreigners that I ran across were disrespectful. You're going to hear that a lot. They're going to tell you that a whole lot. So a lot of times when you're watching people who never been to Southeast Asia, they're going to try to put down the people of Southeast Asia. They're not going to tell you the behavior that they see from the foreigners, because most of the time they're not over there. They're in America, they're in Canada, they're in Europe, and they're spectating about what they think behaviors and stuff are of the people when you go there. Ooh, you gotta go there, you gotta be safe, you gotta do this, you gotta do that. But so many people step out of the line. I'm trying to stay on topic here because there's so much to talk about. I may not can even make just one video. I may have to make multiple videos to cover the full gamut of this craziness. I mean, you can watch some housing, apartment, condo reviews and read the environment that you're looking at. Look at the person that's renting the condo, which is probably going to be a foreigner, and then look at the behavior between him and the woman he's dating. And the same way when you're in America, you can tell right away if a man is beating or abusing his wife. You can tell that right off. It don't take much for you to be around her and watching her mannerism and stuff like that, and you can tell that this guy is not treating his wife, his girlfriend, or whoever well. You can tell. Well, it's the same thing when you watch a lot of this stuff in the Philippines or Thailand or places like that. When I have interacted with couples, the foreigner was rude. I'm about to say that. You know. This is no offense to anybody that I have talked to when I was overseas, but a lot of times that foreigner is very rude to the person that he's talking with, the person he's supposed to be in a relationship with, the person he's supposed to be married to. He's very rude to that person. Very rude. And you can see it in the face of that person, of the woman. You can see the shame and stuff because the guy is doing it in front of a stranger. You know what I'm saying? So you can see this behavior. And then when we see somebody get their butt handed to them, we want to look at the people of the Philippines or the people of Thailand or Cambodia. We want to look at them bad once the foreigner get his butt handed to them. But they don't realize that that foreigner probably deserved everything he got. If you go to, and I'm just using these for an example because I'm not trying to point a finger at anybody. I'm not finna call out anybody's names or anything like that. But if you go to the red light district and you get drunk or high or whatever, or both, and you lose your wallet come up missing or whatever, your money come up missing, or whatever, like, don't you think that you deserve that? Like, you went to a bad area to do a bad thing and a bad outcome came out of it, and you surprised about it? Like, why would you be surprised? That's gonna happen to you, And I even know Alex from Asia Now, he's kind of skeptical on a lot of this stuff when he be hearing it because it be sounding foolish, and it does. A lot of this stuff do sound foolish. When you hear it, it sounds so foolish that this even happened to this person. Like, what was you really doing? What was really going on? You know what I'm saying? And nobody want to shame anybody or put down anybody that done had a bad experience. You know what I'm saying? Even if you was doing a bad thing and you end up having a bad experience, nobody want to put you down because you done already had a bad experience. We just talking here. Right now, we just talking. And what I want to say is, get your life together before you go to a foreign country. Don't go to a foreign country and you got mental issues, you got anger issues, you hate women, you know what I'm saying? You're very disrespectful and all this stuff. Don't go to a foreign country if you got these problems. If you're prejudiced, if you hate other cultures, you hate other languages, you can't stand this, you can't stand that. Don't go to a foreign country if that's how you feel. Stay where you at. If you're in America, stay in America. Don't go thousands of miles across the sea to make somebody else's life miserable, because your life is miserable and the people that are around you are fed up with it. So you're like, well, I can't take it out on no more American women. Let me go overseas and take it out on these women overseas. Don't do that. You're gonna get your butt handed to you. You might get away with it for a while, but you're gonna eventually get your butt handed to you, and then people are gonna be feeling sorry for you and everything like that. Ooh, poor this guy this, poor this guy that. And you the problem the whole time. You was the problem before you left your country, and now you the problem in somebody else's country, and now you got to sit in a jail cell, or somebody got to send bad news back to your family. That don't make sense. Come on now. Let's put an end to that. You know, you go to a foreign country, you need to respect their country, period. You know, I'm not here to make anybody upset. I'm not here to say you can't do what you want to do, because you can. I'm just telling you right now, if you got problems, you might want to solve them before you go overseas. Don't go overseas and solve them that way, because you may not survive it. That's the message that I'm trying to leave today, because I'm trying to keep this simple. I'm not trying to make this a directed message to anybody. I'm just trying to put a blanket over the whole situation and cover everything. If there's something wrong up here, stay at home. Going overseas, going to paradise, sitting on a nice pristine beach, looking at clear water, none of that stuff is going to solve your problem. It's not going to solve it. You're still going to have the same problem. You're still you, and you are the thing that needs to change. You need to change yourself and be respectful when you go to other countries. That's the message that I'm trying to give. Just be respectful. You know what I'm saying? Don't go there and take out your frustration on them, thinking that you was going to go to this country and all of a sudden, by magic, all your problems was going to go away. The only person that can fix your problems is you. You're going to have to fix them. You're going to have to fix your mindset. If you prejudice, you're going to have to fix that. If you hate people, you're going to have to fix that. If you got disrespect toward women, you're going to have to fix that. No good-looking women from any other country is going to change the person that you are. You're going to have to change the person you are. That's just point blank. You know, the Philippines is cracking down, but you got to also understand one thing. The citizens are cracking down. They're taking less crap from people. So you can't push people in a country, in a corner. You can't push people in a corner and not expect for them to push back. That's just what's going to happen. I don't care if you are in a red light district, you still need to treat those women with respect. You can't go to a place and say, oh, because I'm here, let me be disrespectful. Oh, because I'm walking in the province, let me be disrespectful. No, you can't do that. You're gonna end up messing yourself up doing that. When you go to a foreign country, you need to show respect. Just like how if you was in America and a foreigner came to America, you would want that foreigner to show respect in America. You have to do the same thing if you go over there. Period. That's just period, guys. Let's all make this world a better place. And when we travel, let's make it even a better place. You know what I'm saying? Let's do our part to not show disrespect to different cultures. There's things that I don't like when I go overseas. But when I'm overseas, I realize that I'm in their land and I got to abide by their rules. So I can't sit there and criticize the things that they're doing while I'm visiting their place. I have to separate myself from what I don't like and surround myself with what I do like. And that's what you got to do. If you meet a woman, and I don't care how much you call yourself, done fell in love with her, if you can't respect her, you need to separate yourself from that woman. Period. Now, for everybody that's going to the red light districts, that like to drink, that like to use drugs and stuff like that, it's not too much I can do about that, right? There's not too much I can say. If you put yourself in that environment whatever happens is what's going to happen. Think about it. If you put yourself in a bad environment, whatever happens is what's going to happen. That right there you are in control of, because you can choose not to go there. But if you choose to go there because it's available, right? It's available to you. The red light districts are available. So if you go there, you got to be willing to suffer whatever consequence that you come across. So if you get arrested, if you take a nap and don't wake up, that's the choice that you made. Let's don't make those choices. But if you do make them, own them. If you want to go get drunk, you got to own it. Whatever comes along with it, you have to own it. You know? So I'm not going to go super preachy or anything like that. I'm not going to go deep. I'm just want to do my part and just show people that, yes, when we travel overseas, we do notice the bad behavior of foreign people. As a foreigner, I notice foreign people bad behavior. I do notice it. I do see it, and you see it a lot. And I mean, when I say you see it a lot, you see it pretty much every time you see a foreigner, you see the bad behavior. You hear them speaking it, you see them doing it, you know what I'm saying? You hear them complaining. You get all of that. When you go overseas, you get all of it. You'd be surprised at how many foreigners go overseas, go to these different countries, and they just can't be happy. They can't go there and just be happy. They got to go there and do all this extra stuff that nobody wants them to do. You would be totally surprised. So all y'all people that never been to a foreign country that's trying to take the sides of these foreigners that have issues, that have problems, you better believe 9 times out of 10 that foreigner is causing that problem. You better believe he is the one that's causing the problem, or she. Sometimes foreign women, you know, they lose their marbles too. So it happens. But it more so is usually the men, the foreign men, more so than the women. They go to these foreign countries, forget where they at, and totally lose their mind and do something crazy. Something happened to them, it ended up in the news, and everybody be like, man, that country is dangerous. That country, I don't never want to travel to that country. Not realizing it's not the country, it's the foreigner that came there. Keep that in mind. And I'm not saying that these places, by no means, am I saying that these places don't have bad people. Some of these places do got bad people. Some of these places, well, I'm going to say everywhere in the world got bad people. But don't advance bad activities coming to you. Don't do that. Don't make bad decisions that's going to cause bad problems to come to you unnecessarily. Don't do that. And that's what a lot of people are doing. A lot of people are doing bad things and are causing bad things to come to them quick. If you date, and I'm just using this as an example, if you date a woman in any country, she knows some bad people. She got some bad family members. Everybody do. Everybody got somebody in their family that think they King Kong. I don't care if they 3 feet tall or if they 7 feet tall. Everybody in their family knows somebody that think they King Kong, and if they not directly in their family, they a friend or whatever like that. If you keep that thought in mind, if you think about it like that, and think about what that consequence means, that everybody knows somebody that's bad. That means you can meet somebody that's super sweet, that'll take care of you, that'll love you to death. But you better believe that person knows somebody that's bad. So when you cross that person, you're taking a big chance. When you disrespect that person, you're taking a big chance. And you just a one-man army if you're a foreigner. Even if you travel, let's say if you're a group of guys, group of 4, group of 5 traveling, I guarantee you when stuff hit the fan, you're going to be a one-man band. You're going to be on your own when stuff hit the fan, because they're not going to want to suffer the consequences that you're going to suffer. They're going to want to separate themselves from whatever you're doing. When they start slapping them handcuffs on, your friends are going to walk in the other direction. And they're going to be thinking one thing: you should have not done what you did. That's what they're going to be thinking. You know? That is exactly what you're going to be thinking. And how you going to get away? Yeah, like I said at the beginning, you probably know somebody that done went to a foreign country, that done did something bad, and they done got away with it. And you thinking right now to yourself, I ain't thinking about what that guy talking about. I'm gonna go over here, I'm gonna catch this flight, and I'm gonna go over here and I'm gonna try something and see if I get away with it. That's what you probably thinking right now. I can get away, I'm slick, I'm cunning. All I can say is good luck. All I'm gonna say is good luck. Go over there and try it. If that's what you're gonna do, if you Mr. Bad, you King Kong, if you above everybody else, go over there and you try it. You know? But just don't think that everybody that try crazy stuff is gonna get away with the crazy stuff that they try. And this just might be your unlucky day. You know? Everybody that travels, may God be with y'all, may you be safe. And just keep respecting other people when you travel to their country. If you don't like the what's going on, if you don't like the atmosphere, you can always just leave alive. That's going to be it for this video, guys. And I will catch you on the next one. If you got any comments, anything you want to say, leave it in the description below. Make sure you subscribe so you can catch the next video. And like always, peace.